Hey, this is Notzer, and this is the Tier 6 U.S. carrier Saipan. It's got 4 squads, 43 AA guns, goes 34 knots, and the setup I'm using is 1 fighter, 2 torpedo bombers, and 1 regular bomber.
All stations requesting fire support.
Earlier this week I had a good game, and I was using mechanics that were described in one of Wargaming's how-to videos. And I was, as you can see on screen, I was aiming the cursor so that the torpedo bombers and the regular bombers have the most effective attack path. I noticed that this battleship and this cruiser are visible. I'd really like to get the cruiser, but they're going in and out of vision, and when a target goes out of vision, your squadrons go to the area and just, report there. So you have to kind of micromanage them. And yeah, lit them up. That's awesome. 2 fires. Sometimes they underestimate your strategy to continue your bombing runs. So you kind of want to keep your bomber going in first and have a delay between your bomber and your torpedo bombers, because they might get fancy and use the ability that douses fires and plugs up flooding. I can't remember the name of it right now, but yeah, you can see I attack from both sides. I do pretty good damage, and he sinks while I'm zooming in to take out the scout. So, take out the first enemy of the game. I just zoom in, just trying to get an idea of how far away I am. Also, it's a little, cinematic, you can see. And when I do this, I notice the enemy carrier is sending his squad up the number 2 lane. So I ping on the map, I tell people, this is very important. As a carrier, you're the eyes of your team. You alone have the best way of spotting the enemy. So I just making sure that my squadrons are coming back, trying to stagger it so they come back one by one, so there's not a delay in when they're landing. Keeping my fighter out here to keep them spotted. It gets kind of micromanagey with your fighter, because whenever you select a point and you ignore it, it wants to circle that point, and I'm looking for keeping the fighter directly on the point for spotting. So, it looks like all my bombers have landed. I'm taking off with my regular bomber. I'll be taking off with one of my 2 torpedo squadrons. And you can see I kind of see that cruiser, and I'm thinking in my mind that, alright, once I get my torpedo squadrons up, I'll send out my bomber and my 2 torpedo squadrons towards that cruiser. I think just out of friendly. So this squad, the enemy squads are definitely coming for me. And I'm doing everything in my power to delay that until I have all my squads up and as much help from my friendlies as I can get. Because you can kind of see that a couple friendly ships headed north, get some damage on them. And in this last moment, I want to see exactly how they're coming at me. So I press shift and you can go down and look at your carrier like any other vessel. So I'm getting ready to dodge any torpedoes that might come. Good technique I found is to aim towards the torpedo bombers, make it harder for them to do a perpendicular attack. If you make them attack head on, it's a lot easier to avoid. And I see that there's an enemy destroyer close by. He just used torpedoes, so I avoid those, and this kind of sets me up to take the torpedo squadron head on. Luckily, I killed a couple, so he only had 4, but he sends his other torpedo squadron to do a flanking attack, and he hits 2 in my side, instantly repair, because I know the danger's over from torpedoes. But there's a destroyer really close. And he almost got me if I wasn't paying full attention to everything around me. So yeah, my squads were left unattended. I send them all out. I want to deal with this guy. He's going to keep going invisible, but I'm going to keep trying to get them to spot him. Yeah, you can see I'm trying to drag. I'm trying to get it to where the bomb is going parallel, so it hits the most part of the ship, and the 2 torpedo bombers are going to do flanking shots. That's my whole goal whenever I'm sending them out. They're having trouble keeping him spotted because he's in smoke. So I'm just constantly adjusting every chance I get, and that one squad just let it out right before I could. It looks like it ended up being a flanking shot, but he avoids it. The enemy has 3 or 4 vessels close to our base on the west side, and we're losing at this point. We were 1 vessel down. We're really close together, and they have an enemy destroyer on one flank and 3 or 4 on the other. So yeah, send out my fighter. This is key. This keeps me alive and helps my friendlies, because I believe they're trying to kill the destroyer. So I'm sending him out just to spot. That's all he's going to do. He's going to sit over this destroyer and spot for the team. I don't care if AA's going off on me. And you can see I'm not taking AA fire. The destroyer's turned off his AA. A destroyer will do that if they want to stay hidden. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm just going to shadow you. And now he's taking fire from friendlies. I noticed that there's a battleship that's about to hit me. So I go in close just to avoid, see what's going to happen. It looks clean. Sending out my squads one at a time. He has his AA going. He really does nothing. I think he's in a Japanese destroyer, and it's just... their AA is pretty pathetic. Kinda don't see, like, real AA from a destroyer until, like, tier 7 or 8. And it has to be American, really. Even the premium Sims doesn't have any AA. It's gonna be the full normal destroyer line. The Mayhem and the... I think the Mayhem has pretty good AA. Anyway, squads are up. Send them out. See, this cruiser's pretty low. You know, I set up a bombing squad, maybe to help this cruiser get some dot damage on him. You know, never know. He's isolated. He's an easy target for me. That's the thought process. When I set him on fire, I cause critical damage. And I think he crashes because of that. I'm taking fire from this enemy battleship, these 2 enemy battleships. So I'm going to send out my torpedo bombers towards them. I'm still keeping this destroyer shadowed. I figure what he wants to do is he wants to get out of line of sight and then come back hidden. That's what I think he wants to do. I keep taking big shots. But battleships are very easy to hit. And yeah, I'm trying to maximize the damage I do.
Reporting the position of a priority target.
Trying to move deeper into my friendly formation. I don't know why they're hovering around me. It's a little weird. Because I feel like it weakens our position when we're this close together. We can't really maneuver. Can't avoid damage. And I'm trying to find that destroyer. It's more important than watching the kill. I'm glad we got that kill. At this rate, we're going to win the game. It's just me giving the friendly destroyer information about the enemy destroyer's location. So I'm going to keep him spotted. My team seems to be just hugged real close to me. We have the advantage, obviously, and we're just trying to survive and get to the next game. But as a carrier, you know, early on you could say, oh, carriers are going to have the same mechanics as already. You know, they're going to sit in the back and they're going to get like easy kills with no skill. Well, newsflash, carriers are more like playing an RTS, and you have to juggle all your squads, and you need to be effective. You need to help your team spotting and doing damage to large vessels, because you're really the only one in the team that can provide those two skills without putting yourself at risk. So yeah, this was a good game, the Saipan. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you next time.